What is going on, folks? Once again, we are live. As you know, I am Mr. Soul of a Man 50 to the. So I hope everybody is doing great and amazing out there, man. So we're going to go ahead on and get straight into it. So today we're talking about divine intervention. Um, it is very important out here that we know that we cannot do this thing, uh, by ourselves. Some of us have that lone wolf mentality, and we're gonna go in guns a blazing along this path and along this journey. But for me, knowing that I have the ultimate help, the ultimate helper, the ultimate creator, the Alpha and the Omega on my side, I know that with that, man, I can go forth and create and do anything. You might say, well, what exactly is divine intervention? How does that actually work? Um, Divine intervention comes from let's just say, a divine or higher source that is naturally implemented into your life that helps you to do great and amazing things. It opens up doors for you. It can heal you. It can order your steps. It can also help you not go through certain situations that you weren't supposed to be in the first place. Like a lot of people out there pray when things are at their absolute worst. Some of us have been there. When you say, Lord, if you get me out of this one, I'll never ever come back down this road again. And when that happens, there's going to be some kind of a lesson involved with it, but miraculously you find yourself, um, safe and sound, and you get out of that situation, and then something else happens, and you're like, Lord, I know it's been a while, we haven't talked, and I've been doing my own thing and blah blah blah, and if you get me out of this one, I swear, buddy, this is the last time I am going to learn my lesson. This one is going to be concrete, and I'll never ever do this again. Pinky swear until the next situation comes, and y'all know how it goes. But having that divine intervention is just so uplifting, because I think a lot of us, we get so nervous with stuff in life, and along this journey, maybe every day. Today could be a great day, tomorrow, some things happen, phone calls out of the blue. You never, sometimes you just never know how the day is going to go. So we need that strength, we need that comfort. So I, subscribe to God and, my ancestors, and, with them, I know that I can move forward and do amazing things. It's great to have grace in your life. Seriously, like, for like in, like this year, in Texas, there was a big freeze. I was a part of that. It never, the whole state was iced over. Never ever seen anything like that before. I mean, it snows up north. That's up north. They get blinding snow. That's just what it is. Canada, the Arctic, all of that. But that never really snows like that down south. But last year it did. Tell you, last year was, well, not last year. It was this year. This year, man. But so it was like 20 below here, 20, Celsius. That was inside, and it was colder inside than it was outside. So the only thing I really had was a comforter that my mom sent. There was no power. There was really no food. Um, Ask me how I made it through that one, not really sure. But it was that comforter. It was the comforter, the comforting, um, having something already set, because I mean we can plan ahead for things, in a nutshell, but how often can you really, like you might say, well, I'm gonna get in shape, money in the bank, have my vehicle gassed up, I don't know, have stuff cleaned up, maybe company will come by, have some food stocked, refrigerator, all of that good stuff. But like when those out of the ordinary things happen, to you, through you, in your life, how that's the measuring stick of how prepared you naturally, how prepared you can you be. One thing, nature is going to be what nature is, the cold, heat, water. I mean, you that's what it is. So it's just the wind. But I made it through the night, got up the next day, tried to find some, everything was closed, there was nothing was open, there was no power anywhere. So I had to make a decision. I had to either stay, and there were this was a situation where there was no help coming, seriously. I'm thankful I had a running vehicle. I'm thankful, and I'm thankful I had put some gas in it beforehand. So I had to, me and a good friend of mine, we had to jump in the vehicle, and again, we had no food, and we just had to, we had to make a break for it. So that was probably, besides, well, there's other stories, but when I say that was a miracle, and I've seen people in car crashes and the cars almost flat as a pancake, and like they just might have had minor scrapes and whatever, but they really live, um they really lived to see another day. And that is like, man, when I went to sleep that night, I was like, well, the one thing I did was pray. I believe in that, good, bad, or indifferent. That's me. If that's what you don't believe in, that's you. So, um, but I don't believe in necessity in things, and I always believe that things do happen for a reason out here. Reasons and seasons. People coming into your life for just a little while, and then they're gone, and that's not that they're dead, but they they just meant, they were just there to maybe give you some information, or for a lesson, maybe, whatever it was, positive or whatever. So, and then after the fact, they're gone, and that's, it can go like that sometimes, but in that, I am, I'm thankful. um I'm thankful for the lesson, and I'm very thankful to naturally still be here. Could have been hypothermia and all kind of stuff going on, because again, there was no heat. The power, I don't remember, I think the power might have been out for a few days. So, for another night of that, there was no way in the world I would have survived it. There was no way. And again, um, you know, everybody else's power was out. So, who was I gonna call? That there was no way to, I had to leave the state. Like literally, I had to leave the state, and from here to where I normally go in Louisiana, it's normally like a 5 hour ride, something like that. But that ride ended up being, I think it might have been close to 10 and a half hours, I think, because the roads were still iced over. But the cool thing was that, some of the crews went through and got and pushed that snow on the side. I had to drive very carefully, but you know, um, I was able to I was able to get through it to get to my next destination. And that's why, it's so important. How many times you hear about plane crashes and they're like, just out of all of those people, there's one survivor. Um, Man, I heard a story about there was this guy on a plane, and he was like, he was just like he kept saying, the plane is gonna crash. Like he had to get off the plane. So it was him, maybe a few people with him, and then there was another young lady, and she was just looking at him, and something must have told her, I gotta get off this plane. This dude is telling the truth. So they got off the plane takes off, and the plane explodes. And it's like, man, oh, there was a show. Um, I don't know, man, I forgot the name of that show. I think it came on like Netflix, and it was about people who got on the plane and they disappeared, and then they came back. They came back. I don't know, so many years later, or something like that. But anyway, the um, the intervention of something is not often a bad thing, because we all want to live a full life, and we want to live a fulfilled life, and there are sometimes things that we do or might do uh, in the moment that, man, that may cost you everything, and you don't get to have that um that moment where you're crowned successfully. And like, I heard a story about a guy. He was a college basketball player. He and a friend went to a party, and a young lady accused him of something. Not sure. I don't. He wasn't charged with it, but just the accusation ruined him, going to to the NBA and all of that. But it's just interesting how a decision. And we all have that innate intuition that might say, well, maybe I shouldn't, but you do it anyway. And let's sometimes we make it through it without any kind of recourse, or whatever. But other times it just doesn't naturally, just sometimes it just doesn't work out like that, man. And you do something, or something happens to you in whatever situation. But that's why it's good, like they say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is. That's how I look at, like, God, and my angel guides and all of that, man, and my ancestors. I'm like, I'm glad that they're always there. I know, we can buy guns and rocket launchers, and I don't know, what, and landmines, and whatever else to try to protect yourself. You can live out in the woods, walk outside, and get mauled by a bear. So what is all, you know, it's life is just to say life is precious. And just, I am thankful, and I'm thankful to be on this app, and I'm thankful for the divine intervention. I'm thankful for the for the things ahead. I'm thankful for the mentorship that the Most High gives, because that is, to me, that's just the greatest mentorship that you could possibly ever you know want and need. So, but, or you might say the universe, or whatever, or life, or however it is, you want to naturally spin that narrative. So that divine coverage, man. Is you really just cannot, you can't beat that. And but yeah, man. um Yeah, I've been through some interesting stuff out here. I really, and I'm sure a lot of, I hear stories from people like the gentleman that came on. I was on the Wisdom app maybe 2 days ago, and he said that he tried to commit suicide, and the train, I think, might have ran over his arm, and uh, something like that. And somebody saved, somebody pulled him off the track, saved his life. And man, it's like you you hear these stories, you hear these, like, these amazing stories of just like intervention, perseverance, of how these people are still here. And it really blows the mind sometimes, and just hearing other people's stories, it makes you sometimes just want to push more, just want to push harder, just want to go higher, and just be more thoughtful in your life, and enjoy the moments, and to enjoy the moments that you have, with the people that you care about, like the holidays are around, and you may have a tribe of people that come into town, and you may have grandparents or parents, and some people may not even have that. Some people are naturally alone in the world. They might have gone through the foster care system, and it's just them. They don't know who their family is, for whatever reason. But yeah, again, man, just that divine interventions, that health insurance is, ooh, you cannot beat. Though, that, to me, that's better than, I would rather that than have a billion subscribers on the internet. Because you can't take that stuff with you, man, when it's time to check out of here. You can't, take your money and all that stuff. Yeah, you have your legacy, and maybe some people will remember you, I guess, just depending on who you are and what you did in your life. But it's just certain points and degrees, a lot of that stuff gets separated. But yeah, man. But yes, divine intervention, folks. Um, just check it out. Look at where you are in your life. Just ask yourself, where you want to be. And sometimes we, Jesus is that ultimate friend and guide. And for me, that's so are my ancestors, so are my angel guides. They're always there. God is the ultimate of everything. And that's what I strive to be great, greater in my life, every day. And I hope those who are listening do that as well, man. But yeah, divine intervention, the laws, the ways, the ways of the miracles, following following the commandments, putting, implementing that into your life. Being, not saying, being the great, being the best that you can be at whatever it is, seriously. And with all of that said, I just want to thank everybody for listening to yours truly on today. But yeah, this was a short one, man. But I just want to say thank you. We're gonna shut it down on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.